Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So last night, Teen Mom 2 aired, and at the end of the episode, like always, we got to see a sneak peek into next week's episode. Next week's episode, though, will be the season finale. And on that sneak peek, we got to see Kail Lowry seemingly upset at the producers, not wanting to shoot anymore about her life, and kind of hounding them about, how they film her. She even said at one point that she thought that she was going to get fired, and she ended this little back and forth with the producers by giving them the finger and saying, love you. So that's what we're going to talk about today, you guys. I thought it was pretty interesting because what we know today is allegedly she has quit Teen Mom. Allegedly she will no longer be on the show. So let's go ahead and let's get into what we saw on this little sneak peek. Now it starts off when Anne-Marie, her producer, asked Kail about her unwillingness to film about certain events and people in her life. So when she brings this up to Kail Lowry, Kail basically says that she's tired of the producers hounding her to talk about her baby daddies. She's like, I got other things going on in my life, but all you guys pressure me to talk about is my baby daddies. She also brought up that she feels like her co-stars are not forced to talk about their baby daddies. She points out Leah. She says, where's Leah talking about her baby daddies, Corey and Jeremy? She tells her producer, she says, I don't want to give you the stuff that I'm doing when I'm not respected in the same way as them. So basically, she's like, when I watch the show, I don't see you guys questioning Leah about Jeremy or questioning Leah about Corey. I think there's a little bit of a difference here because, you guys bear with me, but I think there's a little bit of a difference here. Leah and Corey, they're good. There's no issues there. They have a very strict schedule that they stick by with getting the kids. Corey has the kids on his time. Leah has the kids on her time. Now, Jeremy, back when Leah and Jeremy was kind of unsure of their relationship, they would ask her, so what's the deal with you and Jeremy? What's going on with you and Jeremy? They would try to push her to talk about it. And she would a little bit, what she felt comfortable with. And they still kind of ask her questions about Jeremy, coming home. If it's Addie's birthday, they're like, so is Jeremy going to be in? And they make a story out of that. It's Addie's birthday. Will Jeremy make it or not? And Leah's telling the cameras about how upset she's going to be if Jeremy can't be there for Addie's birthday. Now, they don't really question her about Corey because there's just nothing there. There's nothing there. Their co-parenting is it's good. And now she's got this new relationship, Jalen. They don't have kids together, but that's the storyline, is her relationship with Jalen. And that's literally her storyline. So they are kind of hounding her about that, I would imagine. So it is different, and they're not necessarily hounding her to talk about Corey and Jeremy, but they do ask about Jeremy. But there's nothing there with Corey, so there's not really a reason that they could. But when it comes to Kail, they don't really ask her about Joe because there's nothing there. Her and Joe parent okay, but they ask her about Javi because her and Javi, they're so back and forth. They're fighting sometimes, and they're on social media, back and forth, bickering. And then sometimes they're talking about getting back together. So yeah, they ask her about that. They want to know about that. And then Chris, she has 2 kids with him. He's been in and out. There's been, abuse and situations like that. So I think they ask her about it with good reason. The show is called Teen Mom, women trying to deal with what it's like to be a young mom, which at this point, she's not a young mom anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's the show is about your life as a mom, dealing with it, So of course they're going to ask you about your baby daddies when you're contemplating getting back with one, or you've been on Twitter going back and forth with one, or there's allegations of abuse with one. Yeah, that's what they're going to talk about. They're not going to want to know about your building a house, the wallpaper. They're not really going to care about that because that's not the topic of the show. But I do feel like they do the same thing with Leah, where she says they don't. I just feel like there's not stories there most of the time. But when there is, I do feel like they do question Leah about it a good bit. Anyways, Kail says she does not want to talk about her baby daddies, especially her second baby daddy, Javi, and possibly getting back together with him. She said, you guys constantly asking me about me and Javi getting back together. I don't want to talk about it. And then at one point she tells V, she's like, they're so going to fire me for this. MTV's going to fire me for this. It just so happened that the executive producer, Larry, was in the next room and overheard her say that. And Larry comes in and he's like, what are What are you talking about? What are we going to do? He reassures Kail that he's not there to fire her, like that's not what they want. And he also kind of defends the show when it comes to Leah and making her talk about her baby daddies. He says, you know, he reminds her that they're actually watching Leah and Jaden's relationship evolve right now. Like that's part of their storyline. So while they're not asking her so much about Corey and Jeremy, they're asking her about Jaden. You know, and if Kail was to get into a relationship with somebody, they would kind of want to know because it's a part of your story. So he's like, yes, we're watching this thing with Jaden and Leah evolve. So we do want to know about your relationships, your baby daddies. Like if there's something there, we ask questions. And then Kail tells Larry, she says, y'all don't hound anybody about their baby daddies the way y'all talk to me about mine and pressure me to talk about mine. Larry then explains to Kail, he's like, well, you know, you got 4 kids, 3 baby daddies. There's a lot of, you know, moving parts to this. There's a lot going on. You're having, you know, issues with one. You're possibly getting back with one. And then, like, there's a reason why. There's a story there. So, yes, of course, we're going to ask you about it. Now, at that point, Anne-Marie, the other producer, she asked Kail, she's like, so when you're not filming for Teen Mom, are you doing your podcast? And Kail says, yeah, of course, I'm doing my podcast. I make way more money on my podcast than I do with Teen Mom. And Larry reminds Kail, he's like, look, I'm proud of your success and everything, but you know, the reason you can do these podcasts and the podcasts are successful is because of Teen Mom. Like, I'm glad that you can do these podcasts and you can make money from it, but don't forget, like, this is where you started, this is where you came from. So now you're just going to leave Teen Mom to do these podcasts because you make more money? Like, but we're the ones that gave you this platform. Kail is not happy with what Larry has to say, like reminding her that Teen Mom is like what made her. And she ends up flipping Larry and Anne-Marie off. And for a second, she's just literally like, I'm not going to do it. But she's like, and everybody, like V is looking crazy. The producers are like, and she goes, love y'all. So I don't know if she did it out of anger and then like, her thoughts kicked in like, oh crap, I'm literally flipping off my boss. So she threw in that little love you. But either way, I think there was a little bit of real feelings there when she flipped him off. Like, I really feel like that was her way of saying like, if you guys, like, yeah, I know that's why I can have my podcast, but at the end of the day, I don't have to take being on the show anymore because I can just do the podcast and I can make enough money to take care of myself. So that was, that was the clip. Her getting into this little back and forth with Larry and Anne-Marie and basically saying like, you guys don't hound the other girls like you do me. And Larry saying like, well, yeah, we kind of do. And then reminding her like, I'm glad your podcast is good, but this is where you came from. Now, after that, of course, this clip was posted on Twitter and Instagram and everything. And everybody kind of sounded off on their feelings about that part of the segment, that part of the show, this little clip, you know, Kail and the producers. Of course, one person that sounded off in the comment section was Brianna DeJesus because, of course, why not, right? Of course she's going to comment. And Brianna DeJesus, she commented saying, boo, get the F off the show then. And I think that's like peaches or pumpkins or I don't even know what that is. Like several like little pumpkins or something. You guys let me know what you think it is. The rest of the comments, some were positive, some were negative. One person wrote, oh, Kail, don't forget where you came from. Another person said, all she does is complain. If she doesn't like it, why come back to film if you make more money doing your podcast? Someone else said, Kail needs to go. She's turning into a Farrah. Like, if you don't like being questioned, then don't be on the show. She treats MTV like, but girl, bye. They should give you that finger. They should give that finger back to you. Other people supported Kail saying, tell them about it, Kail. Everything isn't meant for TV. I totally agree with her on this one. Someone else said, if she's not comfortable with talking or filming certain crap, that's her decision, especially when the other girls are not being asked questions that they ask her. I don't know. I feel like if there's substance there to ask the other girls, I definitely feel like they do. Like, one of the reasons Chelsea left is because she's like, I'm tired of being asked about Adam. Like, I'm literally tired of being, like, you guys, I mean, she had to set that boundary as well. Like, even before she left, she was like, all you guys constantly do is ask me to talk about Adam. And, like, he's not a part of our lives, so I'm not going to do it. Macy has talked about that. Also, that, you know, they constantly want her to bring up Ryan, and she wasn't going to do it anymore. So I feel like they do. I feel like they do. But Kail, she's like, no, I'm not going to have it. And at this point, You know, while the show is about her life, if she don't want to film it anymore, she definitely needs to leave the show, which I think what they say is she has, that she's left the show. You know, when they signed this show, they were 16, 17 years old, young, thought that it would be, you know, a good opportunity to help, you know, financially, like, well, I'm pregnant, this could be a good opportunity so I could get a little money in my pocket to help take care of the baby. And if the show is something great, you know. So I think when these girls took the opportunity to be on the show, it was mainly influenced by, you know, money. And they had no idea how intrusive it was going to be and invasive it was going to be. Like, you're filming a show about being a teen mom. So yes, you have to talk about your baby daddies, you know. At some point, now that they're growing older, and I understand, you don't want to do it. You know, you just want to have a little bit of privacy. So I get it for Kail. At the end of the day, this is the show. This is what they're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to talk about. So if you want to do it, get off of it. Thankfully, you do have the podcast where you can just quit the show and live off the money that you make from the podcast. But yeah, so I agree that if she's going to be on the show, she has to film things like this because that's the whole point of the show. But I also agree that if she's tired of it, just quit. She's got other ways to take care of herself. And I also think that, once again, it's messy for Brianna to chime in. But of course, she's never going to miss the opportunity to pop something off. So what are your thoughts? What are you guys' thoughts? Leave it in the comment section below. Do you guys agree that if Kail is not willing to talk about her baby daddies, she should quit? Do you guys think that she owes it to MTV to continue the show? I don't know. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, do you guys feel like they asked the other moms to talk about their baby daddies as well? Because I feel like they do. Like, if there's something there, I feel like they do. You guys let me know. Leave it in the comment section below. Make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up. Also, if you are watching this video and you are not subscribed to the channel, please do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. I have a lot of people that watch that are not subscribed. So if you are coming back to watch videos, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It'll help my channel out so much. Anyway, I hope you guys have a happy Tuesday. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.